Arc of a moment.
Right.
Angel Reese is not. Angel Reese, from a player-only perspective, is not that unique. There are better players than Angel Reese. There have been more dynamic players than Angel Reese. There are better players in the WNBA now than Angel Reese.
This was just dropped. One of the WNBA's most captivating and contentious players, Angel Reese, has revealed something shocking. She is departing from the skies of Chicago. But that's not all. According to sources, this might be the beginning of a franchise in free fall, locker room conflict, and roster mismanagement. We reveal what's really happening behind the scenes tonight.
Announcement out of Chicago. Angel Reese's rookie season is over. She took to social media to announce that, unfortunately, she suffered a season-ending injury. What a year. I would have never imagined the last bucket of my rookie season would be a 3, but maybe that was God saying, give them a taste of what they will be seeing more of in year 2. Now, following this announcement, Chicago would later release a statement that said the injury was in fact her wrist and it occurred in their September 6th game versus Los Angeles. So obviously, unfortunate news. Monica, what comes to mind for you, when you hear this about Angel Reese?
First thing, you wish her a speedy and healthy recovery. The rest of that announcement that she put out, she did say she hopes to be available and play in Unrivaled this coming WNBA offseason. But beyond that, I started thinking about that 8 spot. That Chicago Sky and head coach Teresa Weatherspoon are
Angel Reese, who led the WNBA in rebounding from her freshman season, was a swagger queen who made headlines for all the wrong reasons. By the middle of 2025, the plot had changed. At the age of 22, Rhea is a cultural influence in women's basketball in addition to being a player. And they are unwinding in the sky.
Had a good year, by the way. Quick hitter number 3 goes to Chicago Sky rookie forward Angel Reese, who has a new weekly podcast called Unapologetically Angel. It's part of Playmakers Network of podcasts from Shaquille O'Neal. On the debut episode, co-host Maya Reese, who is Angel's cousin, asked her to address her feelings about rival Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark and the Fever's fan base. Take a look at what Angel Reese had to say about that. Quote, Caitlin Clark fans, they're Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that. But when it comes to death threats, like, I'm talking about people who have come down to my address, following me home. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me naked, literally. They've sent it to my family members. It sucks to see that, and it's really hard that I have to go through that. End quote. If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be?
After that, retweeted a mysterious statement last week that said, I'll make my money regardless. As fans conjectured, our sources now confirm that she is planning to leave either mid-season or postseason, as insiders whispered. However, why? Is it strained loyalty or something more profound?
Many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that role and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and Kennedy has been here before, obviously, but there are so many great players in this league that have deserved this for a really, really long time, and luckily, it's coming now.
In Chicago, things have not gone as planned. Despite having good ties with the players, coach Teresa Weatherspoon was sacked after only 1 year. GM Jeff Pagliacca assembled a stale roster devoid of defensive firepower and space. Reese's injury left the squad without guidance, and star rookie Camila Cardoso had to temporarily depart for FIA Cup obligations.
You had a decisive advantage because they made the mistake of letting you know who they are, whoever those people are. And now you have perfect justification for keeping people at bay and not letting people too close where they could potentially hurt you. It's something most people usually learn when they get older. You learned it younger, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You're at an advantage. As for the Caitlin Clark fan she was alluding to, she ain't lying. It's not all, it's not most. A lot of them are fun-loving. A lot of them are great fans. A lot of them are great people. But some of them are racist. Some of them don't want Angel Reese to be the one coming at her, and they use ethnicity as the rationale behind it.
How personal this has become was made clear by Reese's heartfelt social media homage to Weatherspoon, in which she referred to her as an unsung hero. She once said, "The real rivalry is between personalities, not performance." And those personalities could now be irrevocably split apart.
Caitlin did it. She was playing against Louisville. It was 3 games ago, mind you. She's going to her side. She does it for like 3 seconds and goes to her bench, right? Compared to you watch the Angel, she's like chasing her down. You can watch the video, because I'm a trash talker. I love to talk trash.
You do be talking trash.
At the free throw line, she's doing it, trying to get her attention. Then when they win, or they're about to win, she's like chasing her down and kept going back and forth. So I just felt like she was trying to gain like some attention, not from just the world, but maybe from her. And I think as a trash talker, who I've been my whole life, I go back to, why do people talk trash? One, because, hey, I'm just a dog, I'm a competitor, right? And you're a top player, Caitlin's probably the top player, Angel's probably second. And either one is, I'm a trash talker with competitive nature, and the other part is disrespect. Disrespect is in, yo, everywhere I turn, they talking about Caitlin Clark. What about LSU? We nice, I'm this, I'm that. Because Angel, she won player of the tournament, right? So as a player, I feel like, hold up, you disrespecting, you keep talking about her, you need to talk about me. So then when she got the chance and they beat her and she's kept, saying I don't see you and all that, I think that was part of, I've been disrespected this whole tournament, you're not giving me the love. So I love that part of it, I just don't like how, people are trying to carry it. Like, she came towards Caitlin compared to Caitlin when she...
Stephen A. Smith and other industry insiders have referred to this as the WNBA's pivotal moment. He has pushed the league to choose between maintaining attention-grabbing, divisive characters like Reese, and giving priority to more polished, cooler personalities. Does the league lose its buzz if Reese walks?
Captivating the crowds. This is something that's going to go on for a long time between these two. 25 and 15, 16 rebounds. What was it? 15, 16 rebounds from a rookie, 8 straight double-doubles. If she continues at this pace, I'm not saying she don't continue to put up the scoring, but I can really see a situation to where it could be up for grabs for Rookie of the Year or even a co-Rookie of the Year, because don't take nothing short of what Caitlin's doing with her passing. I mean, she probably should have had 20 assists last night. I mean, some of those drop passes she was throwing, so I love what I'm seeing. I'm captivated. I wish these two could have been on the USA team, but we'll get to that. All right. I mean, I was very impressed with the game last night, especially with the sky being down, coming all the way back, pulling out.
The WNBA is flourishing with growing stars, crowded venues, and soaring viewership. Yet if one of the most talked about players, Angel Reese, is leaving, the momentum of the league can stall. Is this a self-inflicted wound or an increasing pain?
It's a rivalry. I want to agree with you so badly, Mom. I don't think it's a rivalry because to me,
you think they really like each other?
I don't think I don't think they care as much about it, to be honest, as everybody else does. Like, I think Caitlin's fans care more about it, and I think Angel's fans care more about it than they actually do themselves. Like, if you really want a rivalry in terms of basketball and two players at the top of their game that have won MVPs and have won championships, and you're tuning in for that animosity in terms of competing on the court, it's A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart. That's the best rivalry in sports right now. There's not one in any other sport.
The W fan is tuning in for that.
Tuning in for Caitlin and that's why we're trying to get.
I get late to the party. Right. I get it, but you get what I'm saying.
But if you're tuning in for the rivalry, you're tuning in for Caitlin and Angel in terms of a rivalry of personalities, and that's what you're tuning in.
The rivalry of personalities.
It's a rivalry of personalities.
That's where I was going to my. The rivalry of personalities. We're talking basketball.
It's not a rivalry of performance.
A basketball, a rivalry of performance. No, that's not the case here. That's not the case at all. It's a rivalry of personalities because Angel Reese made it so when she went at Caitlin Clark. LSU, we a little bit different. You could try that nonsense with everybody else. Try it this way, how I feel now. And she rubbed it in her face and ticked off half of America, for crying out loud, which I loved because that's what it's about. But again, for example, if you looked at Isaiah Thomas and a Michael Jordan, even though Michael Jordan was a two guard and Isaiah Thomas was a point guard, they had the ball in their hands.
Yeah,
that's
no,
entirely. When you think about Kareem, you're thinking about Ewing and Olajuwon and people like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're not thinking about or Will Chamberlain, obviously. You're not thinking about comparing a center to a
I don't
guard.
know, but to me, it's
and
like,
calling that a
I don't
guard.
know if they like
That's not how it is.
I don't know if they actually like each other. But the thing that's funny for me is even when we talk about a rivalry of personalities, there's similarities between them. They're both going to talk trash. They're both going to be animated when they do something great. They're both competitive. They're both, so it's pick a side in terms of which
Clark
personality.
tied in the WNBA, leading the league.
If clubs are prepared to put up with the media circus, expect a trade discussion explosion as they vie for her skill. This could turn out to be the most destructive offseason for the Skies. And for Rhee, this is her chance to take charge, go, or completely reinvent herself.
Decisions made where you kind of have to step back and immediately start asking bigger picture questions about a front office. I think there's a lot of reasons that you can understand this decision in an absolute vacuum, like if you just look at one day in the life of a team. But when you look at the decision making over the last year, hiring a GM after Weatherspoon, giving her less than a year in the position, the Kalia Copper trade, the Marina Mabry trade, there's just so many pieces that don't really add up to this being a functional year where you could really determine if a coach is ready to be a WNBA head coach or not.
Yeah, as someone who covers the Washington football franchise in my day job, I know bad ownership. And there have been a lot of people that have asked out of Chicago, including, by the way, one of the most recent, I can't remember whether, I guess there had to be an interim between James Wade and T. Spoon, but like he wanted out, he left in the middle of a season. You don't do that as a coach. That's not a thing. And it certainly seems like that's the one constant here. Is it an ownership problem on down in terms of the vision? Is it the new front office? Like, how do you ascribe some of those bigger picture problems here?
Yeah, I think the Wade decision was definitely wholly separate. I think that's kind of an easier one to compartmentalize into one person making a decision for themselves. The interim coach was not asked back. So, you know, those are kind of two very separate head coaching determinations that occurred there. I think the main issue here is that you still have an ownership group deeply in flux. We've seen this ownership group make some really big strides forward, the training complex being the main part of that. But when you look at the actual front office decisions that are being made in terms of how this team is being run, I just still do not think that ownership really understands what they want this team to look like. And that's a huge concern. I think there's a lot of reasons that other departures have happened, but just the baseline of not having still a team tactical identity is just like, you just can't attract players and keep players that way.
Even if Angel Reese is leaving the Chicago Skies, is it possible that she will quit the WNBA or take it in a completely other direction? Each update will be broken down as it happens, so be sure to ring the bell and subscribe.
Putting together game plans. This was a coach who was learning on the fly, and every player that we heard from Friday said that in some way or another. If they were a big Spoon defender, they were like, it's a big learning curve. We know she learned with us a lot this year, but she got there. For the folks that were veterans, especially for the older players, there was visible concern about the fact that she just did not fully have a grasp on how to do things up until the Olympic break. They were installing a completely different offensive scheme over the Olympic break. So it really is about the tactics. And I think if this front office and the new general manager, Jeff Pagliocca, if he looked at the end of the season, sat down and was like, we need a coach who is experienced, who has the preparation, because that's how you get free agents. That's who a vet free agent wants to play for. If those are all the things that they decided they needed in a coach, that's totally fair, but don't hire her. That's the whole thing. Don't hire her a year ago if that's who you wanted out of a coach. I think it's totally fair for them to want that experience, but that's not who they hired a year ago, and I don't know why they would have expected her to become that.